Hello students, welcome to SK Biology. This video is about eukaryotic translation. In prokaryotes and eukaryotes, translation is more of conserved. So, we are going to discuss differences between prokaryote and eukaryotic translation. So, the translation is the process by which mRNA is decoded into protein. In case of eukaryote, it is also occurs in cytoplasm, but transcription and translation is not coupled in eukaryotes. There is some change in machinery when it comes to eukaryotic translation. Like in case of eukaryotic mRNA, the mRNA is with GCAP and poly A tail. mRNA is monocistronic, that is only one gene at a time. And the direction of transcription is same as that of prokaryote, which is 5' to 3'. In eukaryotes, ribosome is 80S, where large subunit is 60S required for peptide bond formation and small subunit is 40S subunit, which is required for decoding of mRNA. tRNA required for eukaryotes, where first tRNA is always methionine. No formylation of methionine is required. Eukaryotes also required all 20 amino acids for protein synthesis. Enzymes and factors required for the completion of translation processes like initiation, elongation, and termination. GTP and ATP provides energy wherever required. In eukaryotes also, activation of tRNAs is important, which is done by same way as that of prokaryote, which leads to next step, that is initiation, elongation, and termination. The first step, initiation, we will discuss. The main difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic translation is at this step. This is the most important step in case of eukaryotic translation. Eukaryotic translation requires more number of initiation factors than that of prokaryotes. Eukaryotic initiation starts at Kozak sequence. Firstly, 40S subunit binds with few initiation factors and then it binds to ternary complex. Ternary complex is made up of initiation factor 2, GTP and mRNA, which leads to formation of 43S pre-initiation complex. This pre-initiation complex then combines with mRNA and EIF4F and EIF4B. All the initiation factors in eukaryotes I have listed here and their functions also mentioned. Among these initiation factors, EIF4F is a trimeric protein. Once 43S subunit binds with mRNA, it combines poly A tail and GCAP with the help of initiation factor G, and mRNA looks like a circular form. 43S subunit then starts scanning of mRNA until and unless it reaches to the start codon AUG. Once this complex is at AUG, it becomes 48S complex, where EIF2 and 3 get released by the dissociation, where it uses GTP hydrolysis. Then 60S subunit, that is large subunit, will added to the 48 complex with the help of initiation factor 5B. This leads to formation of complete initiation factor, which leads to elongation step. Elongation step is highly conserved in eukaryotes and prokaryotes. In eukaryote also, it follows same three substeps: decoding, transpeptidation, and translocation, until and unless this machinery reaches till stop codon, which may be UAG, UGA, or UAA. Once at termination codon, then there will be no addition of any tRNA. In eukaryotes, only one release factor is present, which is EIRF1, which releases synthesized polypeptide chain and recycle ribosome and other machinery for next translation process. Here, In case of eukaryotes, post-translational modifications are very important. So, synthesized protein will be in fully functional form. In case of eukaryotes also, there are few antibiotics which can inhibit translation process. Here I have shown 4 different antibiotics, their targets and their affected step.